Morning, Calvary. Welcome to our Advent devotion for this week. This is week 3 of Advent. We have had hope, we've had faith, and this week Drew taught us about joy. And so I'm going to share a little bit of what joy means to me and how we can share joy throughout the week. As Drew talked about the childlike joy that children have at a wedding and dancing, some things came to mind for me. One of the popular joy verses we think of, Philippians 4:4, rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. And I remember going back to children's church a long time ago of singing that song. And another song that has been stuck in my head all week from children's church is that I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Where? Down in my heart. And remember singing that over and over about that joy. And so that's what we're challenged to do, is to have that childlike joy as we go in anticipation. The Bible Project actually defines Christian joy as the profound decision of both faith and hope in the power of Jesus' life and his love for us. They also define it as an attitude of God's promise and that he will come to fulfill our promise. It's that expectation. And as we think of that anticipation, we think of the story that Drew read from Luke chapter 2 the other day and the joy that those shepherds had. And we think about, from the Old Testament to the New Testament, there were 400 years of silence, of that anticipation of where is the Messiah? Is the Messiah coming? We've been promised that through all of our trials. And we have that joy. And we read in Luke 2:10, when the angel appears to the shepherds, I bring you good news of great joy for all the people. That was how Jesus was coming. He was coming for all the people. And the shepherds, upon hearing that, they left everything. They went and they had to go see. It says they wanted to see what the Lord had made known to them. And they went and they saw baby Jesus, and they believed, and they were able to do that. But probably my favorite part of this story is afterwards, starting in chapter 20. After seeing them, they reported the message they were told about the child, and all who heard it were amazed. The shepherds returned glorifying and praising God for all the things they had seen and heard, which was just as had been told. So imagine those shepherds. They had seen baby Jesus. They're going back to their fields. Everywhere they could go, they could just stop and celebrate and share that joy from waiting forever. Jesus tells us himself in John chapter 10. He is the good shepherd. Last year, our sermon, we talked about the shepherds and how much we focus on that. He is the good shepherd. One of my favorite joy scriptures that I think if you're having good times, bad times, a good way to start your day a lot is a short psalm, Psalm 100. And I wanted to read that with you. Psalm 100, let the whole earth shout triumphantly to the Lord. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Acknowledge that the Lord is God. He made us and we are his people, his sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and bless his name. For the Lord is good, and his faithful love endures forever. His faithfulness through all generations. Reading that brings joy in all situations. We can find joy through him and all he has done for us throughout the generations. Now, our daily training this week was to live joyously. Drew recommended a joy bag. Much like Drew, I've got a pair of running shoes in my joy bag. But one thing that I like to do to create joy is to create joy for others. And several years ago, I started with these little pop-up cards with different themes on them you can buy. You can write a little personal message. You can hide them. If they're made, you can put them in a kid's lunchbox. You can put them on a coworker's coffee cup or on their keyboard. Leave them somewhere to kind of surprise them. and you can leave a little personal message, and then they open it and it's got a nice message. Sometimes when we're feeling short, void of joy, bringing joy to others is the best thing we can do. And that's why we always say it's better to give gifts than to receive. But something simple like leaving a note to bring joy to others is a good way to bring joy back to yourself. So find ways this week to live joyously. Have some fun with it. Our family played games on Sunday and had fun. Got to be a little bit silly, and that's always good to do. So live joyously this week. We love you. This week we are coming up on Peace. Will be week 4, so you can register online for that, as well as our Christmas Eve services. That information's on the info hub, and you can register for that. Have a great week, everyone.